So just waiting on Adam Hammodat to join me on my conversation today. Pretty excited. Adam was on Mega Camp's main stage, which is pretty darn amazing. I'm here in the Bay Area. The weather's nice. Starting to get a little cool. Only about 60, 70 degrees today.
What's up, Bert?
Oh, my man, Adam.
How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. So I'll have to say one thing. I am jealous of Southern California because the weather's actually getting kind of cold over here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing we brag about at this point.
No, I'm sure there's a lot more than that.
How you been, buddy?
Good, good, good.
Excellent.
So for everyone, let me introduce you a little bit. So I feel honored to have you come and talk with me. So first of all, Adam is a top producing agent in the Orange County area. So much so, he was invited to speak on the main stage at MegaCamp. For the people that don't know, 170,000 agents, part of the KW network. And out of the 170,000 agents, they selected maybe 20 to be on the main stage at MegaCamp. So pretty elite there. And trust me, they don't just invite the middle tier agents to be on that panel. So truly an honor to be having you here talk with me, Adam.
Thanks, man. It's an honor to be on that stage, and I appreciate your kind words, man.
For sure, all earned. So let's start out, and maybe you can tell me about the area that you focus on.
So I live and work in Orange County. My office is based in Irvine, California. I do serve Orange County and suburbs of Los Angeles, and I would say just like the borders of Orange County, and parts of the Inland Empire, which includes like Riverside County and San Bernardino. So
Now,
that's kind of like my main focus area, if so to speak.
Got it. Now, do you have a team or do you work as a solo agent?
I'm still a solo agent with I have 3 showing assistants on top, obviously like part-time basis. I do have a transaction manager who takes the transaction from start to finish, and that's pretty much it. And everything else is leverage.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, I do want to talk about your business a little bit because I'm amazed when we were talking, we talked several times. And by the way, I also want to let people know, not only is Adam a top producing agent, he is a true gentleman and just enjoyable to speak with.
Thanks, man.
Just a good person overall. So, but I do want to talk about your business because I do have a lot of realtors within my followers that kind of are interested in your business. So I wanted to talk about the niche that you do, which was amazing to me because, when I came into the business, where it's still like that now, everyone says that it's a numbers game, right? Like do the numbers, do your calls. And the more people you add to it, the more you have a chance to get more business, right?
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of hammered into us. But your niche, you didn't do that. It's a beautiful thing. So maybe you can tell everyone a little bit about your niche.
So I focus on people who speaks my language. I speak Arabic, and when I first started the business, I pretty much tried to every aspect of the real estate prospecting. So I did open house prospecting, I did cold calling, I did door knocking. Usually, I didn't have much sphere because I was basically here for about 5 years in the United States, so I didn't have a big, I would say, like people that I can always prospect to, or past clients, because I'm new in the business. So I was part time for about 2 years, and within those 2 years, when I was living in Irvine, I started seeing like open house and for sale signs in different languages, like, mainly Chinese because of, the demographic in Irvine, right?
Wow,
And
Chinese?
I'm
Right?
like, huh, what if I do the same thing in my language? And so I started to do more research, and I started to see like where do they live, how many people are out there, is there a dominant agent, is there someone who's taken the most business, and I treat it literally as the geo farming. So I thought this is going to have to be a long term game, and I have to basically be patient enough to gain the trust and build a brand, then to start transactions. So it didn't happen overnight, but it become my main source of business.
That's awesome. That's truly awesome because the Arabic speaking community isn't that big. It's pretty small, right?
It is, yeah.
So
They're also very spread out, which in the first few years in the business, it showed like a lot of mileage in my car because I was driving everywhere, right? So, but again, like there was a really good opportunity that I saw in front of me that I could basically be the go-to guy, even though it's a pretty big number. I would say like there are 60,000, but they're not um, classified as far as like age and gender, but like there is a good amount of people. They're just like spread out, and I have to nurture them like little by little. Like
just got to do the work, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that is awesome. Just gutsy. To
Thanks.
me, I think that's gutsy
I don't,
because
this could be applicable on anything else. Like it doesn't have to be a language. It could be a hobby. It could be, I don't know, like you could basically, I think, dominate every inch as long as you um show up and relate and just be consistent with it.
so I think Jason Abrams might have been the one that first heard it. But basically, you're trying to do is find your tribe, right?
Yeah,
Find the people that you identify with and just
yeah,
work and lean into it,
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
Love
it's that simple. I see a lot of people who will basically, and I did that as well, like in the first 2 years, where they will host like a booth and in events or like gala dinners and big gatherings, and you can just literally find those around you and be in front of them and have more face-to-face conversations, and eventually it will turn into business.
love it, love
Yeah.
it. But I've been following you for a couple of years now, and I've been watching the marketing, right? And I there's a video that you produced that I thought was brilliant because your niche is so hyper focused. What you did was, and you probably know what video I'm talking about. It's called "Buying a House for Your Daughter versus
Oh
Son,"
yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
so I love that one because now you're branching out because now you're not really focused on just the Arabic speaking community. You're kind of and people who haven't seen it, it's amazing because even though the family that you were filming was very specific,
Yeah.
it was awesome because it was relatable. We all have a family. We
That's so
all can
true.
relate to the common theme, right? Maybe you can kind of tell me the thought process that went about that particular video.
So I honestly, I took some time off as far as like social media. It was a good maybe like 3 4 months, and I always think about marketing because I come from a marketing background. My first job was in radio, sales and marketing and management. So we always think about like ways to promote and like be like basically building that brand. So I thought I'd come back with like a good idea. So started to talking to influencers, and I got introduced to this family, and they're so creative, by the way. Like they're like very like famous in our area, not only the community, and they had a big following. So I reached out to them. We sat down. It was very spontaneous. We kind of like came up with the idea of buying a house to the son and the daughter, and it got produced in, I don't know, like 3 or 4 minutes. But it's pretty fun to do.
Yeah. And how many hits did you get on that one?
I think right now we have over 10 million
Yeah.
on that video.
Good. I can't even comprehend, but it's brilliant though. So
Yeah,
for the followers that haven't seen it, go follow Adam. Click on that link. It's such a good video. I love
yeah,
it.
yeah. It was fun, man. That was
Cool.
fun. Sure.
Well, hey, let's change gears a little bit here and
Yeah,
kind of talk about your market because one of the things, the reason why I like talking to top producing agents in other areas is that I live in one, if not the most expensive area in the country. And I often get people talking or asking me about what are some other areas that are good relocation areas,
yeah.
right? And one of my recommendations is always Orange County. So my median sales price is over $2 million now, right? So what is Orange County at this point?
So, Orange County is pretty big. We have a little over 24 cities total. There's the north part of Orange County, which is Anaheim and the surrounding areas. That's the older part of Orange County, where Disneyland is, and Knott's Berry Farm, and all these areas. And there's the Irvine, which is central. This is where my office is. And there's South Orange County and the coastal area. So these are like kind of like segmented sort of markets that we have. We attract a lot of people from all different parts of the country and different parts of the world because first of all, it's the lifestyle, the safety, the weather, the good schools, and just overall like a good place to be in. It's very centralized, so you can literally be in LA or San Diego in less than an hour sometimes. um, your photo disappeared for a second. Um, I hope you're still there.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Let me
Yep.
work on that.
Okay.
No, continue though.
Yeah.
Continue.
So we get one of the main reasons that we are different than the other metropolitan areas is that we don't have as much homeless, or it's pretty much none compared to the other metropolitan areas like San Francisco, San Diego, LA, and sort of areas because we have a really good district attorney who has been working on this issue for years, and it's kind of like our little bubble that we're always cautious of that, and they're working diligently to keep it in that kind of like standard. um, we have a lot of also like business hubs. So we have a lot of tech companies and biotech companies. So we have like Blizzard Entertainment. We have a branch of Google, Cisco here. Also like biotech companies like Allergen and Genetix, which has a lot of attraction from your area, like the Silicon Valley and the Seattle area as well.
That's right. So you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that is a really important thing because in
Yeah.
my area, it's almost all tech workers and biotech workers. So
Yeah.
that's why Orange County has always been one of my top areas to relocate to, at least.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, do you think now is a good time to buy?
I see it as opportunity time. When you have enough inventory, um, it's time to negotiate versus wait for several months and have to overpay. So I think this is where the buyer kind of feel like a little, I would say, not sure, because when usually people follow the trends, and they want to see their cousins buying and their friends and their coworkers buying at the same time, and this is when they get motivated. And when they're sitting down and see everyone else is kind of like a little bit cautious or unsure about what's going on, this is when it creates a little bit of coolness in the market. But I truly feel we have a very solid real estate market. We make about 25% of the whole economy of the U.S. So I don't think the housing is falling down. In fact, I think it's a phase where we have a good inventory, which is creating a really good balance. And I don't think it's going to take too long before we go back to seller's market. In Orange County specifically, in the last about year and a half, anywhere from 30 to 35% of all purchases were all cash. So we have a very solid market, and there is a good capital in our area to buy homes.
That is a huge number.
Mhm.
Now, do you know if it's coming from a specific region?
That's not being tracked. I'm not aware of that, but I'm sure it's gonna, somehow, somewhere we're gonna find out. But as far as what I know is, we have a lot of second time buyers. So like people are upgrading in our area. We have about 65% of our population are seniors. So people have been living here for a long time or relocate here for retirement.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, clearly I'm having camera issues, so I apologize for that. So
Okay.
let's kind of wrap things up. What I typically do is kind of ask a personal question. So I know you have beautiful kids.
Excellent.
Yeah. What would be your dream vacation with the family?
So I'd love to. I'm a big soccer fan, so I always love to go to Barcelona, London, Amsterdam. These are like the big soccer, scenes in the Europe world and the soccer world. So
Nice.
that's on my checklist.
Not England?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was there. I was actually there like earlier this year. I went to Manchester to see a game.
Wait, so do your kids play?
What's that?
Do your kids play?
They do. Yeah. They both play soccer.
Now, okay, a little bit off topic. So my daughter started club soccer recently.
Yeah.
Do your kids play club soccer? Do you have any thoughts about that?
But my oldest is actually doing club soccer right now. Early phases though, like he's literally like second week.
Okay.
He was joining like that AYSO in our area.
Yeah.
But my youngest is still like 7, so
Yeah. I
it's still
see. I
new.
didn't grow up playing soccer, but I'm like going through this and realizing how competitive it is. Like the
It's
difference
very,
between.
yeah, and this is why I actually like wanted them to be in that kind of like sports, because that teach them like being more competitive as far as like a human being, and like developing as a kid.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Adam. Well, thank you for taking the time to
Thank you,
speak
boss.
with me. And
Pleasure talking to you as
definitely
always.
chat soon. All right.
All
Take
right, man.
care.
Take care. Bye.